Hello, everybody. I welcome you all onto our debut show, the UAV show. I am Blurizy, and this is Rickon.
What
And
up?
thanks to our beautiful editors, Nizzy and Andy Specs, and none of this wouldn't have been possible without Daddy Seth. So I thank you all. Thank you all for watching. I thank the editors and Seth. But let's get right to business. Today we have Altoona Steam and Indiana Warhawks playing each other to advance to the finals. What do you think of this matchup, Rickon?
Man, before we even get to the matchup, Rizzy, I definitely want to talk about thanking Seth for letting us do this show. I mean, this was a long time coming. I feel like our players in tech need the exposure, need the spotlight. They've been working so hard throughout the entire league, and been doing great things, frying, slaying out, playing, making some big plays. So this is the time for us to give them the recognition. And right
Yeah.
now we're at the top four D1, man. The season flew by. We're in the playoffs now, and we only have four teams remaining. And guess what? We're gonna do our due diligence to make sure that we give them the spotlight that they need, right? So, like you said, we have Altoona Steam versus Indiana Warhawks in the first semifinals going into this. Dude, I am so freaking excited. Like, this is gonna be one of the greatest games. I am telling you, I really do feel that whoever's gonna come out on top out of this has a very, very good chance of winning the entire thing. Altoona Steam versus Indiana Warhawks. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, Rizzy. If we're gonna pick sides here, I don't think Altoona stands a chance. All right. Indiana Warhawks is just coming out flying. They have been absolutely decimating every single team in the division. And I think they're gonna take the whole thing. But I'm not gonna count Altoona out. And tell us a little bit about Altoona. Why shouldn't we count them out, Rizzy?
All right. First, I'm gonna have to disagree with you for two reasons and two reasons only. Number one, I always root for the underdog to avoid disappointment, and because, well, if you look at the
Is it
stats,
because you've always been on the underdog team?
yeah, all right, bro. I mean, come on. I've seen what Warhawks is doing this season, man. I was doing the same thing last season on the Yetis, man. We had a big ego. We were undefeated. We were saying everything Warhawks is saying now, but we lost in the semifinals against the Warhawks. Funny enough,
Interesting.
but moving on. If you look at the stats of the Steam's players against Erie, man, they came to play, and you can easily tell that they will transfer their performance today. I mean, if Steam can steamroll Erie, I don't know. I think anyone wants this. I don't think anyone wants this win more
And
than Steam.
Rizzy, I'm glad you brought that up. That was a bit of a surpriser, right? I mean, taking on Erie in a 3-0 fashion as well. I mean, not a single map was taken away or stolen away from Altoona, especially when you're playing against a player like Fees, right? And
Yeah, I
it's just difficult. And I think they completely shut down Fees, right? Fees was not able to really get anything going for Erie because I think Altoona was just way too strong for them, and that is scary. Going into the semifinals, if Altoona is able to find a way to shut down some of the players in Indiana, which we are going to talk about the rosters in a little bit,
hmm
you're right. We could see something coming, man. But what I want to talk about is the keys to victory. We're gonna get into the veto section of the show later on with the captains. But let's talk about the keys to victory, Rizzy. Just looking at from over the top, what do both of these teams need to do to come out on top and make it to the grand finals? Talk a little bit about Altoona Steam and what you think are the keys
I
to
th-
victory.
I think the key to victory for Altoona's team is taking control of that control, man. I don't have high hopes for Steam winning the hard point, only because the Warhawks are a very strong hard point team, man. I've seen them play. I've seen them do their thing, man. But I think the first search is definitely gonna be. I'm rooting for Steam on that search, man. I think they're gonna take that. I think they're definitely gonna take the first map off of Warhawks. And if it's gonna be any mode, it's gonna be search. As long as Steam can get control of that control, like I said before, honestly, it can go to a game five.
And I like what you said there, honestly, and I do agree with you. I think Indiana is going to be the heavily favored team when it comes to hard point. They are just way too fundamentally strong. They have the slaying power, and their ARs are just so talented. So taking that hard point away might be a little bit difficult, but the S&D, right? S&D is usually
Always a
that
toss up.
that that it's not, I wouldn't say the toss up, but the weaker team can usually pull something out. If things are going
Yeah.
well, they're playing their trades right, the timing is on their side. I think they could really pull out that S&D. And the thing is that Indiana has never lost a map in tech so far this season. And if they
Yeah,
do end up losing that first S&D, that control is just gonna be a whole different ball game, in my opinion, right?
yeah,
Because I have to say this, but no teams really scrim control. No one really likes scrimming control, right? It's
yeah,
usually hard points or you play S&D wagers, but you don't really ever play control.
yeah,
So that would just be an up for grabs type of game for them, and it will be very difficult. But I feel like for me, keys to victory for Altoona's team is obviously you need to snatch the S&D, right? We talked
yeah,
about that already. And the AR to AR battle, man. I think Pancho needs to shut down Draco. I think we're gonna get a little bit into the rosters later, but that's gonna be my key to victory for Altoona. I mean, Draco is that player that isn't a fancy player. He doesn't like doing slide canceling across the map
yeah,
and doing jump
yeah,
shot, drop shots, and playing aggressive. He's a player who's gonna pick those power positions in an AR on every single map, and he's gonna shut the other team down, right? But the thing
yeah,
is, the person who's going to stop them are the ARs on um, the Altoona's team side. And listen,
yeah,
Pancho is a very talented player. He has his gun skills. He has the knowledge. He has the experience, and he needs to shut Draco down. Because if you shut Draco down, it's going to be very difficult for his subs to do something on these hills,
yeah.
on these control hills. So, I think that's one of my keys to victory for Altoona's team as well. And tell us a little
Uh,
bit about Indiana Warhawks. What are your keys to victory for them?
Another thing, honestly, I have to mention about the Warhawks is every other team is trying their guts out to win this whole playoffs, and I feel like Warhawks are just going half half about everything. I mean, if
I gotta
Altoona
disagree
really,
with you there, man.
I
I,
mean,
I,
you just see how they see in the chat. I mean, honestly, we'll see how they pick the maps and we'll see how they play. I just feel like Warhawks. I don't want to. This might sound bad, but I don't think they care as much as winning as honestly Altoona's team would. I think Altoona's team has that willpower inside them just to want to win, to
I
want to
feel
take the win
like
from
one of the
Warhawks.
biggest advantages that everyone has going into the games against Indiana is that they just want to beat them, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Indiana is the top dog right now, and everybody wants to beat the top dog.
yeah,
But the thing is, they're a top dog for a reason, Rizzy, right? I mean, even if they don't care or not, they just have the talent and they have the commitment. They play every single day. It's not like they're slacking off. They love Call of Duty. They practice every single day, and they play really well. So it's gonna be hard to take it away from them that they're not gonna try as hard. I'm sure they will. They want to absolutely decimate every single team. Drake was on a mission to complete the season without losing a single map, and I feel like his teammates from Texas State are gonna help him do that, right? These guys have
yeah,
been playing together in college for a long time, and now they're coming into this league with the chem. A lot of
yeah,
these teams just got formed in a matter of weeks, 2 weeks, right? They have three core players from Texas State who picked up a very talented player, Nira, as their fourth, and they're ready to do some damage, man. So
they are.
I feel like they want to win every single thing that they can, right? So if this is a league where they can win a chip, you best believe they're gonna go for it, man.
Yeah,
Right? So I guess keys to victory for Indiana Warhawks. We talked a little about Altoona's team, but listen, Indiana Warhawks, man, that respawn dominance needs to continue, right? You
yeah,
cannot lose that first map, right? That's gonna be the game changer, right? Because the thing is, both teams are gonna go very hard that first map, right? You're fresh, you're ready, you're active, and you're just ready to go at it, right? Because the adrenaline is pumping across all these 8 men, right? So you're ready to just
yeah,
take that first map. So the dominance need to continue, right? The respawn dominance. That's one of my first thing. You take that map one, you're kind of cruising across the rest of the maps. Keeps laying out from scripts and Nira, right? Yeah, I mean, and also tactic, right? You have your
yeah,
tactic is your OBJ player, who's gonna be playing most of that hill time. Scripts and Nira just need to slay out and play that that ratty role in their face, gun to gun, which they have been doing all season. They need to continue doing that.
yeah,
And of course, cannot let Pancho heat up. If that man heats up, man, it's gonna get very
yeah,
scary for Indiana. You
yeah,
need to shut Pancho down, right? And that's gonna be one of the most important things for Indiana, right? Shut down Pancho, make sure your slaying power is up, and the respawn dominance just needs to continue, right?
yeah.
Um,
Even for the hard point, I mean, Warhawks got to shut down Jumpers TV because I mean, what I've saw once they played the Erie, I
yeah,
mean, I haven't seen much about Steam this season. Don't get me wrong, but from what I did see Jumpers pop off that
yeah, on the
hardcore
Garrison,
Garrison.
yeah, it
Yeah, I
was.
mean 30 and 22. I think that's a player you got to shut down. But I mean, just know it's also the objective players that are important as well. I mean, Poncho and Big Chungus, both of them minute and 30 seconds on Hill. It's just something.
Yeah,
Warhawks got to do something about these players, man. I don't think they can just go along with the same format they did this entire season because Steam, if anything, they want to take a map off Warhawks, and if anything, they want to win. And Warhawks just want to get a simple 3-0 and move on to the next thing. They're not thinking much of it, but Steam, this is much more personal.
I
And
agree with
especially
you.
every team that plays Warhogs, it's much more personal than winning the chip, man. They just want to take a map off the team that's like you said, map undefeated the entire series this season, bro. And it's definitely gonna be an interesting matchup.
Yeah. Well, Rizzy, we talked a little bit about the teams now. Let's go a little bit more in depth about the rosters, right? Who do we got on the Altoona side? Can you give us a roster?
We got Poncho, we got Big Chungus, we got iJumpers TV, we got Adam, and honestly, my fan favorite, the one I'm rooting for, man, is Big Chungus. What do you think of Warhawks?
So yeah, before we even get into Warhawk, Big Chunk is like you said, is your OBJ entryman, right? And
Hmm.
who's gonna be hitting those first hills on the hard point, right? He's gonna be
Yeah,
expecting his Slayers and his ARs to really, watch his back while he's playing that hill time, right? That's what Big Chungus does.
yeah,
Adam is your route man. That's gonna be the annoying ratty guy who's gonna be, playing these routes and flanking around lanes where every Indiana's gonna not only need to look straight, they need to look to their left or right because Adam is that
yeah,
guy who's very sneaky, right? He may not be the guy who's gonna be dropping the most numbers, but he will be the guy that's gonna be getting behind the team and causing some annoyance. As he does
yeah.
get behind the spawn, so that's your route man. You got to watch out for those. And then Poncho, which is your main AR, and
Main
Jumpers, who's your
AR.
flex, right? I mean, Poncho, there's so many good things to say about this man. I played a lot with him in eights lobbies. It's always, it's always a hard kill on the map, right? He knows what he's doing. He likes playing those power
He,
positions really well, and he loves those long lanes, man. He's gonna take control and advantage of those long lanes, and he's gonna try to slay out as well as he could,
yeah, he's
right?
gonna be a
And set
point.
up, and he's gonna set up for his subs, right? He want to make his subs jobs as easy as possible, and he's really good at doing that. So
Yeah,
Pancho is just someone that you got to look out for. And like you said, talk a little bit about our jumpers, man. I mean, he has been just killing it so far.
jumpers. He has been killing. I was gonna mention Poncho's performance during the honestly Poncho and yeah, more so Poncho's performance on the S&D, man. Because if they're gonna take a map, I think the S&D, and I think that's where Poncho's gonna pull it off. Poncho and his
Yeah,
friend Adam, I think they're definitely gonna be something to reckon with against the Warhawks. And plus, if you looked at Big Chungus' performance in the control, I'm pulling up right now. He's another important kill.
yeah.
You gotta get Big Chungus off the map, man. He's an important player, and
Yeah, they're gonna have to worry
Poncho,
about a lot of
Poncho
these players.
they have to worry about a lot of these players. Draco got to worry about Poncho. Adam got to worry about what's his face, Nira, and it's just what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think about the Warhawks roster?
Oh man, let's get
They're
into
they're
this all-star
powerful. They are
lineup, man. This
powerful.
is an all-star lineup. You got Draco, who's your main AR. You have Script, who's gonna be your flex player, right? Your aggressive AR flex. You have your Tactic, who's gonna be the main sub player, and you have Nira, who's your second sub, right? So we talked about it a little bit before, but Draco, Script, and Tactic have been playing together in Texas State for a fairly long time now, right? I mean, they have the chem, they know what they're doing, they trust each other on the map. I mean, that's scary, man. When you have three
Yeah.
players that have been playing at a high level, in college COD, and I'm telling you, they didn't have any other season. They went, I believe, 14-2, 13-2 as Texas State, right, in the league itself. So they're playing at the very high level together, and now they're picking up a guy like Nira, who's your second sub. But not only that, man, he's known for his S&D knowledge. He's an S&D star, right? This man
Hmm.
brings the quality of a good S&D player, and that's what they need, right? They need that S&D boost as a really good respawn team, of course. So there's just so much to say about it, right? I mean, you got Tactic, who's your main sub player, who's going to be playing that OBJ role, right? He's not going to be getting out of that hill because he's going to be trusting his ARs to take care of the rest of the people on the map, so he can play that ratty role on the hill and rack up some points. Also on the control, right? He's going to be the one who's going to be sitting on those control points and waiting for his team to slay out. And he's a very smart player, right? And he has the charisma, man. I mean, he's that guy who's gonna be voicing his opinions through. He has been voicing his opinions throughout the league that he's the best, that they're the best, and no one's gonna beat them, right? And he's gonna be backing that up when it comes to the semifinals. And Draco, man. I mean, such a good guy. First of all, just talking to him every single
Yeah.
day. I
Yeah,
could literally sit down and have a beer with this guy. He's a super chill dude. Not only that, man, he's a menace on the freaking on the map, dude. Like his Craig shot is just incredible, right? And not just that, his awareness, where he needs to be on the map as an AR and helping his team out is just incredible, right? This man knows what the hell he's doing every time he's playing on every time he's playing hardpoint
yeah.
and any other map for that matters. So yeah, man, that's IW for me. You guys a little bit of say about any of these guys?
Honestly, like you said, man, Draco. I've been playing with Draco for a bit, for the past month. We've been kind of on and off. We've been playing COD. We've been playing Pummel Party, just having fun. Draco's a really nice guy, man. And I remember talks about him being last season D2. And man, does he deserve this D1 spot? He's definitely one of those players that moved up from D2 to D1 that deserved to be on D1. That was just playing D2 due to unknown reasons. However, like we've been saying, this matchup, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I just want to map off Warhawks, even if they win the round, bro. If they get a map, it's just I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. I got two little highlights now. Going into the match highlights, of course, it's things to really storylines to look out for, the drama to look out for, right? That's what we really want to spice things up and
Yeah,
tactics, walk the walk, talk the talk, man. Let's talk a little bit about that, right?
100%.
Tell me a little bit about that and what you have been seeing.
Tactics talking, all the stuff he's been saying in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
esport company chat, man. He loves to talk, but he loves to walk too, man. I mean, he has the skill to back it up. I've seen a lot of bad players talk a lot, and you can tell someone's a bad player by how much they talk. But tactics talks a
yeah.
lot and
You know who's
knows
the
how to
most
gun.
dangerous man on the field is the person who talks a lot and who backs it up, man. It's so hard, to deal with those type of players because you know that you do not have the power to beat them, but they're just gonna keep on getting in your head, right? It's like a Conor McGregor, right? In his prime, of
Yeah,
course, not anymore, but
yeah, not anymore.
it's a Conor McGregor in his prime that loves talking but he backs it up, so it's just so annoying, right? Because it's like, damn, I want to beat him, but I can't because he talks so
Exactly,
much.
exact. He talks so much. I
And
remember if
that's what I
all
love
season he
about him,
was
man.
talking.
Yeah,
It's COD. I mean, you got to get some banter in there,
yeah,
just even for the
man.
fun.
And
I've bantered kids all the time, man. But like in the end, like we're still homies. It's just for fun. I remember
absolutely.
I forgot I was bantering Draco for a bit. Me and Draco became friends. I was even bantering Tactic. Me and Tactic are kind of going good grounds. I mean, we were messaging each other the other day. I was bantering Charisma. I ended up teaming with him. We were homies. I mean, you really just can't take any of this personally.
Yeah.
It's a mind game.
And another thing is we talked about a little bit is Indiana Warhawks is on a mission to finish the season with a flawless map count, right? And winning
Yeah.
that championship on D1. Now that I don't know the history of tech, I'm new to this, but I don't
Hmm.
think that's ever been done before, if I'm
No,
not
it
mistaken.
hasn't. Honestly,
This
I think
might
the
be
close
the first team to ever do it,
it might be honestly the
right?
closest I've ever been was like I said last season when I was on the Yetis with our full roster because we did use a sub one map and we did lose
Right.
that map. We were basically undefeated with that full four roster we had up until semifinals where we lost against the Warhawks in map 5 and
Yeah, but over here, we're not even just talking about the series, Rizzy. We're talking about not just winning the series, which is they're gonna do, but they don't want to lose a single map,
they're
which
gonna
is
they're gonna
insane.
if they complete this mission, that's an achievement right there.
That's a big
People are
achievement.
gonna talk about that. That's just
Yeah.
something
Like
that's
that's
something you
gonna
can
be
brag.
going down in the history of tech, right? That there was a
Yeah,
team in Division 1 that finished the entire season out with zero map loss. And
undefeated.
honestly, we're actually on that mission as well to talk about it a little bit. We're on D2 right now.
Oh yeah, D2 Armada.
And we have not dropped a single map in D2. Um, but again, the story of D2 versus D1 is completely different, right? I mean, the
Yeah,
competition is just a whole different ball game. So
yeah,
for them to do
yeah,
this in D1 is incredible. So, and let's talk about a little bit about Pancho, right? Could he be the kryptonite for them, right? That's a question. Pancho is someone who's not an easy kill on the map. He's someone who has been very, strong um across all the board of game modes, right? S&D,
yeah.
hard point control.
I would say Poncho's hard like respawn presence wouldn't be as strong as his S&D presence. Or honestly, his control presence is pretty powerful too. I just
I'm
if
gonna be
Poncho can
honest,
pick,
I'm glad you can continue. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I would not take that last match against Erie, into consideration about how good he is at respawn. Like he might have
That is
when I
true.
believe he did go
That
negative
is
in
true.
Garrison, but the thing is, when your teammates are slaying out, sometimes you could get carried, man. You just let it happen,
Honestly,
right?
team,
Like
it's not team deathmatch. I tell everyone this all the time, man. You're playing
exactly,
hardpoint. You're not playing team deathmatch. You got to get on the hill. Objective time is how you win hardpoint, not by getting kills. I mean, yeah, getting kills helps. Getting kill streaks definitely turning makes it turning points. But I've seen this multiple times where a team was outslayed but still ended up winning just because they were on objective. I mean, once you go up against a team that just wants to get kills and don't care about anything else, I mean, you can really kind of get those sneaky objective points and just shimmy your way through a win like that.
exactly.
And
So yeah,
yeah,
man, that's Rizzy, that's really it. That's all we really
yeah,
got for the breakdown of these matches, and I think we did a pretty good job breaking these guys down, and
yeah.
as we should have, right? We should have
Chat,
done our
chat.
due
Let us
diligence.
know. Let us know, chat, how we did.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, the guys are liking this. Hopefully everyone does enjoy the show. Now we're gonna move on to our next segment that is gonna involve the captains. We're gonna do the vetoes
We're gonna
with
do
you
the
guys on
vetoes.
this show, right? So stay tuned for that, guys.
Stay
Thank you
tuned for
for
that.
staying in
Thank
for
you
this
all.
breakdown.
All right. Now we move on to the map vetoes. Draco, you had an amazing performance this year. What's your first veto?
Um, we're gonna veto Moscow.
James?
Gonna veto APOC.
All right, what
And
map do you pick, Draco?
we'll go with what are the options? Raid, Gary, checkmate.
Yep.
Man, I don't know how to pick. I might have to flip a coin. We'll just go with let's rock
Ooh.
Gary. I'm
All
with it.
right.
Garrison Hardpoint. All right, so we have Garrison Hardpoint as our first map.
The first hard point.
All
And
right.
for
Now,
map 4,
now we're
Map
gonna move on
six.
to map 4. So it's gonna be Chungus's pick.
Yeah, we're gonna be picking raid.
Or
All right.
Raid HP.
And then
Crazy.
for
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to S and D.
S&Ds. It's going to be interesting.
Chungus, go ahead and veto
yeah,
your second map.
We're gonna be vetoing raid, search and destroy.
raid. Ooh.
Interesting.
Ooh. All right. We'll veto Miami.
Okay. Chungus,
Yeah.
it's your pick.
Chungus.
We'll be selecting standoff.
All right.
Perfect. Love seeing standoff.
Standoff.
Yep.
Now I don't
Uh,
know which one to pick because I was gonna pick that.
and now you got map 5.
Map 5. Oh wait, that's map 5. We'll just rock Express.
Damn, okay. Okay. Now for the
Express S
control.
and D. All right.
Control. We veto first.
Mhm.
Yep.
Gary, just pick whichever one you want. Don't care.
We'll pick raid.
Hey,
So we got
Interesting.
raid control. So it looks like Gary Hardpoint, and we got standoff search. Uh, we have raid control, and then we have raid hardpoint, and then we're ending it off with express S and D. Rizzy, tell me a little bit about this hardpoint picks that Draco and Chungus just picked here. We have Garrison hardpoint, and then raid hardpoint.
For the Garrison Hardpoint, I mean, I've seen Steam play against Erie on their debut playoff match, and I mean, Steam took the victory home. And honestly, I was expecting a little more power out of Erie, but it looks like they were steamrolling through the team, honestly. So this is gonna be an interesting matchup,
I'm not gonna lie,
especially
I
for
was
the
a little
maps.
surprised. I was a little surprised with the first map Gary picked from Draco. I mean, I'm sure they're very confident going into any maps, but as a player like Draco who likes taking control of these open lanes and open power positions, you would expect him to pick something as a raid map, right? Which is a
Yeah,
very AR dominant map,
yeah.
which he is getting map 4, and also, there's maps like Checkmate as well that he can easily control these maps. But moving on to Gary HP, Chungus, I gotta ask you, how do you feel about that map one?
You know, we're feeling pretty good about it. With Adam on our squad, I feel like we could just run and gun and just take over map control.
All right,
Yeah.
Draco, why pick that first map? I feel like you just picked it out of the blue. Be like, all right, that's the first thing that came to my head. Let's just pick it. But we want to hear your thoughts. Listen,
I
Draco, I'm
mean,
gonna be honest with you. I know you're confident in your team. You trust your teammates. But we do want to know why Garrison, and tell us a little bit about it.
I have a lot of faith in my teammates. I have really great teammates. I love them to death. They are the reason I am as good as I am right now. I'll say that. And I kind of want to give them the spotlight. I'll sit back and hold spawns, do whatever I have to. I'll let them shine for round two playoffs.
I love
Interesting.
hearing that, man.
Semifinal, man. It's gonna be interesting.
All right, and then Rizzy, we have standoff S&D as our second
Standoff
map.
S and
Now,
D.
Rizzy, I'm gonna be honest with you. Everyone, if we were to do betting odds here, I think Indiana's are going into this as favorites, right? We have Altoona as the underdogs.
Altoona is the underdog.
I I expect them. I expect Altoona to at least take an S&D off of this team, right? I mean, they
Yeah.
need to. I mean, if they lose that Gary HP that Draco has picked, and they go down 0-2, it's gonna be a little rough series for them. However, said that second map standoff, we did see Altoona steamroll. I see what
Yeah.
I did there right there.
Altoona. Yeah.
Steamroll Erie Isles in that first round playoffs. So I think they do have a bit of confidence and experience going into it. Tell us a little bit about that
I
S&D
mean,
standoff.
good S and D standoff games or teams. You can tell they're a good standoff S and D team just how they play, man. Just the power positions they set up. It's just like you can tell if someone played Black Ops 2 standoff just by seeing how these like Cold War players are playing standoff. It's like everything clicked back to them from the Black Ops 2 days. And honestly, I do think Altoona's team is going to take a map off of Warhawks on the standoff. That's my prediction for standoff.
Yeah, and Draco, I gotta ask you about that map 2 standoff. I mean, I would consider you guys. I mean, I'm sure you guys are consider you would consider yourself an all-rounded team, but I would consider you guys more of a respawn dominant team.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about this standoff S&D. How do you guys feel about just search and destroy in general going into this and playing against a team like Altoona that have gotten some reps in from that first round of the playoffs? How do you guys feel going into the standoff search and destroy?
I mean, Nira is a S&D god. I started comp as a S&D kid. So we have not played this map individually, I mean together a lot, but individually we play this map a lot with Scripps has been running Cubs, he's been running a lot of COD agent tourneys. He's played a lot of standoff with other guys. Nira, I mean the dude's a demon, his best map is standoff. And then I played COD agents, I played CMGs, and the last cup I played, or not cup, what was it? I forgot what it was. It was I think it was a AGN tourney or it was a LAN tourney, but it was one of the online seating things. I played standoff as well with other guys, so all we gotta do is just run the map, play it how we always play. I mean, we know what we're doing.
That's
Yeah.
really good to hear. And Chungus, I want to get your thoughts into that standoff S&D as well. I know you guys have some experience and reps going into it. Tell us a little bit about it too.
Yeah, we feel the most confident on that standoff map. We have more reps and we played it more. We just feel that Poncho and our other AR, Jason, they could just hold the lanes and then just let me and Adam just go and do our thing.
I love to hear that, man. I mean, I'm excited for the standoff S&D. I feel
Me
like it might
too.
be a toss-up for us, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be great for the viewers to check this one
Definitely.
out. And then moving on to map 3, guys, we got control raid. Now, there's something I gotta say about control. I mean, I want to get your thoughts too into this Draco and Chungus, but we don't have a lot of teams scrimming control, and that's something I always bring up, right? At least the AM teams, maybe the mid tier, the low tier teams. I mean, they really don't scrim out control. Actually, not even a lot of CDL pro teams probably scrim a lot of control as they would on hardpoint, right? So, Draco, going into this third map, which is raid control. I mean, have you guys been practicing control, or is this just about playing your trades properly, and just playing as a team, and just getting that map pressure that allows you to win these controls?
I'm not gonna lie, the only teams that let us scrim control are usually the teams that we smoke in hardpoint. A
Mm,
lot of the teams that we match up pretty well in scrims with, they usually don't like running controls. So we usually just watch VOD. We go over a lot of stuff. We know how to counter pretty much everything.
right.
So that's what we mainly go off of is just countering. We don't have a set
Yeah.
plan. It's just we whatever happens, we just go adjust to it, and that's how it is.
These
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. Rizzy, what do you have to say
I
about
was gonna
this?
know. I just noticed that these first three maps are the same first three maps Altoona had against Erie. Same
Oh, that's
exact
very
location.
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I feel like they're gonna be playing the same
They can,
same
if they bring the
series, right?
same heat, bring the same confidence. I mean,
You know, one
odds.
thing I also gotta say, Rizzy, is that whenever Indiana has gone into their controls, right, in the league, they have always gone into them being up 2-0, right? And then having that momentum going into that control is usually gonna help you win that control map, right? Even if you're
Yeah.
not the best practice team. But if Altoona takes a map off of Indiana, whether it's the hard point or the standoff, now that control is going to be a complete stalemate, right? And
Yeah.
whoever's going to be more precise playing those trades and getting that map pressure properly is probably going to be the one that are going to be coming out on top.
Yeah.
Um, so that's one of the advantage that Indiana always had going into control, right?
Um,
Being up 2-0.
Side note, we
Mhm.
play better control when we're not up 2-0.
Oh, is
It is. We play a lot really cocky. It's one thing I've said a lot. We do a lot of solo chows. If you watch our other controls, we around. I mean, you've seen it. We ran like two FFARs at one point. I think it was against Annandale. We were up 2-0, and
Mhm.
we ended up dropping around to them in that control. But I say we play better. We if they win the search, but if not, they might be able to take the control if we're fucking around.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think whoever wins that control is honestly the favor of the series can be swayed towards them
Yeah, and let's
because
get Chungus's idea here. Chungus going into that control, raid control. How you guys been dealing with control? How you guys been playing throughout the league, and what's the confidence level going into this?
Yeah, we don't really scrim control really too much. We just play like league play together, and that's where we get our control reps. And
Mm.
I feel like control is all about pretty much just getting your guys trades and then just winning the site.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, and that's well said by you, Chungus. And I feel like Rizzy, both teams have very talented individual players that
Oh,
can shoot straight,
100%.
right?
I'm looking out for Big Chungus and Adam over here, man. Their performance is
Yeah.
pretty well from what I've
And
seen.
absolutely, and with likes of Scripps on your team with Draco and also Nira. I mean, these guys have the movement, the skills, just the map
Everything.
knowledge, the IQ. It's both teams are just matched up really well. I really do feel that this is probably going to be one of the best series that we do see. I
Yeah.
mean, who knows? Maybe they'll just prove us wrong and just 3-0 one another. But I am excited for this because these are two really well matched teams in my
Yeah.
opinion. And then we are going on to raid Hardpoint. Rizzy, tell us a little bit about that.
Map 4 raid hardpoint is where I think Steam's gonna have to pull it off. I think that's the respawn they need to win because if Steam pulls off the standoff S&D, if it's a close game for the control, who knows who can win it, Steam or
Oh.
Warhawks. That last raid hardpoint, I mean Steam. I've seen him play. I mean hardpoint just through the control, and it's gonna be interesting, man. That's all I gotta say. Eye jumpers. If he pulls out the same performance he pulled out for the Garrison against Erie, I think Steam can actually end up
Yeah,
taking that
dude
map
dropped what,
off.
like 30 something kills, right?
Yeah, he went. Let me see. I have the statistics right here. It was like 30 and 23 from what I remember,
Right, right, right,
or
right.
30 and
And that's
22.
against, player at Fees' quality as well against Erie. I mean, that's a really good accomplishment out of him. So yeah, they look scary, man. But like I said, I think Raid Hardpoint, I favor Indiana over Altoona, at least on that map, because I really thought that Gary might be Altoona's map to take. But Raid Hardpoint, man, I like I said, when you have an AR like Draco who has the leeway of taking these long range gunfights and making it easy for his subs to rack up points and just slay out inside the hill. I mean, it just looks really scary in my opinion. I wouldn't want to play in DNF if I'm on Raid Hardpoint, but like I said, we do have two very high quality teams with great gun skills, so we
Yeah,
may see. We don't know what we're gonna see. Now I don't know if it's gonna go to map 5, Rizzy. We are talking about like it may go to map 5, but if we do end up going to map 5, this is Express S&D. I gotta say my worst map. I hate this map.
yeah.
I never feel comfortable on a map like this. But Chungus, what are your thoughts on Express S&D? First of all, I mean, I'm gonna ask you about this a little bit later. But if do you see yourselves going into a game 5 here against Indiana, and if so, how are you guys gonna come on top in Express S&D?
Well, I could totally see ourselves going to Game 5. Last time we played them, we matched up pretty well. We just need to pull out the wins when it gets closer. But for this raid, I mean, Express Search, I feel like that's Adam's favorite map there. So he usually just pops off over there. And jumpers, he loves just watching them lanes and just killing them all.
I mean,
I
you
love
can't
to
say
hear
too
that.
much. You can't say too much to the other team about what y'all can be doing, though. Just slow
Yeah,
down a
man.
bit.
We
But
adjust on the map. We don't
yeah,
watch.
Draco, let's get your
We don't
thoughts on it. I
study.
mean, I feel like Draco doesn't even want to talk about Express Ending because he doesn't even feel he's gonna go to Game 5. Draco, do you think this map's gonna go to Game 5?
No disrespect, but no. I mean, we're on a mission. In case you didn't know, I'll let this be known real quick. Last season, I played D2. There was a reason I was on D2, not D1. Not gonna mention that. That's some drama. But I will say, after the season, nobody wanted to pick me up. Nobody wanted to team with me. So I decided to bring my teammates. A lot of people were talking shit about me, so I brought my teammates. And so yeah, we're on a mission. I haven't heard a lot of shit talking this season though, so kind of
I
funny
mean,
how quick
I
stuff
mean,
changes.
yeah.
and I love to hear that, Draco. And I'm happy for you, man. I mean, we could tell you're on a mission right now. You're proving it to everybody. I mean, again, this is playoffs, and anything can happen. But I do feel like you guys have a lot of strengths going into this series against Altoona. So that's it for our vetoes.
I got one question.
Yeah,
Just
go
for the
for it.
Mats, just for Chungus. Are you worried about Warhawks going into the semifinals?
Oh, yeah, I mean, they're a great team. They haven't lost a map yet. That Nira guy, he absolutely smoked us last time on Search. They're a great team.
And there you have it, guys. You guys heard it here. You guys just heard the vetoes live. You guys heard the thoughts of the players, the captains. And there you go, man. That's the best we could have done
Yeah.
from our ability to, break these two powerful, talented teams down. Now it's all up to the show, man. Hope you guys enjoy
Yeah.
this matchup.
Oh,
I cannot wait. I'm gonna be sitting here with my popcorn. Well, not really my popcorn, but I'll be sitting
yeah.
here and enjoying this first semifinals. But guys, we're not done here yet. Stay tuned.
Stay
Charisma
tuned.
is going against Keeks. It's gonna be Anadolu Aviators versus Armada in their second semifinals, and we're gonna be breaking that down for you guys in the next show. Till then,
Yeah.
have a nice day.
I would before we got off. Sorry, not to cut you off there, but I have to do a big thanks to Seth for letting us have this show. A big thanks to our editors Andy Specs and I always forget his name, Nizzy, because Blurry Nizzy, whatever. Big thanks to them. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more. I hope you guys learned something about these teams. I'm excited to watch these teams as much as you guys are. Thank you all for coming by. Have a nice day.
UAV online.